We're going to start this evening's meeting first with a motion to open. So I need a motion to open this evening's meeting.
Motion to open the Board of Historic Review and Historic Preservation meeting of June 12th, 2017.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome to the June 12th, 2017 meeting of the Architectural Board of Review and Historic Preservation. My name is Curtis Highsmith, and I'm your chair. I'd like to introduce the panel that's here this evening. Unfortunately, we do not have Brian Grady this evening, nor do we have Christina Redding, but we do have Susan Stevenson, Jeff Broadleib, we have our historic consultant, Zach Studenroth, our legal counsel, Bill Robinson, and Antoinette, we always welcome you as well as Charlie. How are you? We're going to start this evening's meeting with signs, and first application sign, please.
Patrick's Pools, contractor sign.
Is the applicant present? Is the applicant present? Is this the second adjournment on this?
I have to pull it up.
Okay, I believe it is.
So,
Then we need a letter to the applicant, just so we can get clarification
Yeah,
on.
they were on last meeting.
So we're going to ask that we send out a letter, just to get an update on the sign. Motion to adjourn?
motion to adjourn the application of Patrick Pools.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next application, please.
Northeast Masonry and Landscaping Incorporated contracting sign.
Is the applicant present? Okay, we had named the company, little logo with a tree. We normally and typically not ask there to be such an advertisement or any type of promotion on what the organization or company does. Looks a little billboardish. We need more information from the applicant to be present here, because if I personally would want to go move forward to approve the application, I would ask that that be removed.
Right.
So can we adjourn? We also want to send out a letter to the applicant, since he or she did not appear at this evening's meeting, just to make sure they know that the application has some questions.
Motion to adjourn the application of Northeast Masonry and Landscaping Incorporated contractor signs.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next application, please.
Southampton Hospital Thrift Shop, 4 storefront signs.
The applicant present.
We're with the sign company.
Okay. Your name for the record, please.
Jeffrey Fleming.
Okay.
Going
Just
sign.
set out your plans there so that the camera can pick up. You can turn it around so. Yes.
Is that right?
Is that all right, Charlie, or are you okay?
The other way.
Yeah, it's upside down.
No,
It's upside down. It should face us, I guess.
all right. We'll start first with the sign just above the thrift shop. You give us the, so it's going to be Southampton Hospital Foundation underneath there. It's going to be representation of it being the thrift shop, that those two separate applications you're applying for the two?
Yeah, they're two separate signs.
Okay,
with
so we'll
on
start
that
first
elevation.
for the foundation. I had some challenges, because is that going to fit within the actual fitting there, or the opening?
Yeah, it's actually, those signs are going to replace the existing signs.
Okay.
It's like for like in size.
Okay.
The only difference is the existing signs are peeling and falling apart, so we're going to put carved signs, PVC signs there in their place.
Okay. Any lanterns, anything?
Nothing
Okay.
illuminated.
All right, so it's just a liking kind of removing and replacing signs that right now are deteriorating and you need to replace?
Yes.
The problems. Susan, you have any questions?
No.
Jeff?
Nope, sounds fine.
Any public comment on the application? So,
The only, just mention that this sign, though, is an additional sign. This does not exist
The
right
thing
now.
that says thrift shop, does that have to be in black?
Well, it doesn't have to be, but that's how the existing sign is reading in black right now.
what are you proposing?
Either it's blue like the one above it, just so that it wasn't so outstanding, but I'm not completely against it in black.
Okay, I'm fine with it, black.
Okay.
No issues, no challenges. Jeff, do you have any issues with it?
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yep.
It's fine as proposed with us. What about the window decals? They currently exist. Are you replacing them? Are you removing them?
Currently, they have like a suction cup type of sign that gives the hours, and we just thought it would be a little more professional looking just to have vinyl graphics on the inside of the door.
Okay, but they're going to be like in kind with the section
No,
rendering?
these will be die cut, just vinyl graphics,
Okay.
so you can actually kind of see through them and all of that.
Okay,
It's nice.
but it'll be decal?
It'll be a decal, yes, sir.
And also, you're proposing now the additional at the rear of the building itself, correct?
No, it's on the, this is an existing sign that's being replaced. This one is on the north elevation.
Okay.
So when you come into the parking lot, the municipal parking lot, you really can't, they wanted a little bit of presence on that side of the building so that people could see where they were as well. This sign is on the south elevation, right, existing right now.
And there won't be any lanterns or anything backlit, goose down lanterns facing it?
No.
And it's signed off by code enforcement, so the size of the sign is within code. So we'll start with sign 1 first. Sign 1 being the thrift shop. Jeff, you have no issues with the
No.
thrift shop? Susan?
I'm fine.
Okay. Sign 2 would be the Southampton Hospital Foundation. Any issues with the font?
No.
Or
It's good.
No, I think the font's nice.
Okay. And then sign 3 would be the portion of I'm sorry, what was the dimension? You say eastern or
This is the existing one on the south elevation.
southern exposure of the building itself? Any issues or challenges with that sign?
No, I'm just looking at the picture, the icicles.
Yes, it was a cold day that day.
Yes, it was. Any public comment on either 3 signs? Okay. Therefore, a motion to approve the signs for Southampton Hospital Thrift Shop.
Motion to approve the 4 signs, store 3, it says 4.
This is the
4 signs for Southampton Hospital Thrift Shop, 40 West Main Street.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next, Catherine Tess Beach, 69 Main Street, window sign. Window sign, yes. Here.
Gladys Bank.
Welcome. So you're proposing,
Two things, lighting the existing sign above the storefront and a decal in the window.
okay.
What about, it says lights?
We want to light the existing sign above the window.
Do you have a, well, we'll start first with the signs and
Okay,
then we'll
sorry,
go to
this
lighting.
is,
So with regards to the sign itself, it's just a,
The sign is there and we have a permit for that. You approved that 2 months ago.
okay.
So now this application is, there
decal
are 2 of them, one for a decal and one to light the existing sign that was already approved.
Okay.
these are the details.
Decal is going to have basically the name of the company as well as the different various locations
Correct.
that you have stores,
Yes,
correct?
at the bottom of the window.
Board members, you have issues or challenges with the advertisement of the various locations?
No, not,
Not really.
And this is a representation of the correct font,
Yes.
black, and it'll be transparent through,
Maybe white actually on the window, I'm not sure.
what's white? The
I'm
letter?
not sure if the lettering is white or black.
Okay.
I think we went around town and looked, and everybody had white, and I think that
that's
the
right.
decal itself is white, but for some reason the rendering is black.
Okay, so you're representing now that the lettering itself is going to be white,
I think it is, yeah.
and it'll be, the remaining portion of that will be transparent, so it's not
Yeah.
going to be in the back.
Correct.
Excellent. Any issues with that?
no.
No.
Any comments about that, with the application from the public? All right, now we're talking about the lighting.
Here's,
Actually, we can approve that now because the
Okay.
store lighting is a separate application.
Okay.
Since there's no opposition of the sign itself, motion to approve.
motion to approve the window decals
Yes.
for Catherine Tess Beach, 69 Main Street.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and now the lanterns. I'm assuming these are goose down lanterns?
Yeah, I
You're
think
probably
there's a-
saying there'll be 2?
Yes.
Are they? I mean,
Yeah.
They're goose down.
oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we gave you a picture.
Okay, you're representing your 200 watts, and I'm assuming that's for both?
I'm not sure, whatever it says
kind
on
of
the
bright.
specs. It is very bright,
my
yeah.
reaction.
Yeah. We can make it whatever you want. I mean, we can put in any bulb. I think it means that it accepts a maximum of 200 watts, but we don't have to put in a 200-watt bulb. We can put in whatever wattage you want.
All right, so normally, typically, I think it was like 30, 60 watts. Since you have 2,
Two.
maybe you want to do 230s? It's your discretion.
260s?
How far apart are they?
There.
The sign itself is,
You
I mean, the
proposed.
storefront is 12 feet,
Yeah.
so they're probably 4 feet apart, 3 feet apart.
A 40-watt bulb, especially for the two of them, and given the street lighting, it's really going to give you ample
Yeah,
light.
that's fine, 40's fine.
Is that your representation?
Sure.
240s.
Big decisions.
Sold, yeah.
Any other further detail of the lanterns other than what's being proposed here? It's just a white goose-down lantern, nothing.
That's it, that's the one.
Any issues, any questions?
No.
Susan? Jeff?
No.
Any questions from the public? Motion to approve?
Motion to approve the two lights, 40 watts each at Catherine Tess Beach, 69 Main Street.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in
Thank you.
favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, good luck.
So much.
Next application, please.
Fitzgerald Fine Arts, 22 Jobs Lane, signs and awning.
I'm so happy that the store seems to be more people coming downtown, so I'm very happy to hear that.
Good
Your name for the
evening.
record.
My name is Donna Zalman. I'm with M&M Awning.
Oh, good morning. I'm sorry?
And M&M Awning.
Okay.
Okay. And we are here to go over the plans for the retractable awning, manually operated, for the front of their storefront, with graphics on the valance, and window and door lettering.
Okay. So you're doing the decal on the window, front window.
Correct.
Above that will be the awning.
Correct.
Same name, same font, same
Yep,
style.
everything.
And then also on the door.
Correct.
Is there a sign above?
What she's proposing is, it's that on the door.
Okay.
Address.
Okay.
Open to the public.
Not
Is there a
necessary.
reason why it would not be open to the
Gallery.
public?
That's what they had requested.
So the address?
I guess
property
they didn't
itself?
want it to feel that it was basically more like an art piece, like anybody can walk in at any time, just to make it feel more comfortable for the patrons on the street.
Okay. So you have your website of the company, open to the public, and the address on the door. Decal, the same font as the awning itself. The awning, you have a sample of the swatch that shows.
It's attached.
Yeah,
Yes,
so you
that's
have
it.
a quick, copy of that, or a sample of that. This is the correct font, and it's white background, I'm sorry, blue background with white lettering?
White lettering with a black shadow drop in the background.
Okay, excellent. No lanterns, no?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
And it's manually retractable?
Yes.
Very good. Jeff, any comments?
Nope, it's fine.
Susan?
Fine.
Any public comment on the awning, sticker, or door sign? Okay, first of all, motion to approve the storefront sign?
Motion to approve the storefront sign of Fitzgerald Fine Arts, 22 Jobs Lane.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And motion to approve the window sign?
Motion to approve the window sign of Fitzgerald Fine Arts, 22 Jobs Lane.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. How about the awning? Did we
Well,
cover
it was
that?
the awning and front sign we were in the application.
Okay. Next?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
And last sign application for this evening.
No, there's one more after that. There are two at Sugarfina, 68 Main Street, storefront sign, and Sugarfina, 68 Main Street, window sign.
Denise Ventrell, representing them from Hampton Signs. Can I see it closer?
Is it Main Street?
The actual sign above the storefront sign is
Yes,
the
individual letters.
individual letters attached. And this is correct color as well as
The
font?
color on the right there is correct. The swatch on the bottom, that's the
Okay.
correct color. The font is exactly what you see there.
Excellent. What would you, just so I understand the actual color, what would you describe?
Robin egg blue.
Sorry, was it?
Robin egg blue.
Robin egg blue.
I think that's absolutely a good color for that. It's a good name for it.
Okay.
Okay.
For storefront sign, Jeff, any comments, questions?
It's a nice-looking sign.
I think so, too.
Any public comment on the sign, storefront sign? Start there. Motion to approve the storefront sign.
Motion to approve the storefront sign of Sugarfina, 68 Main Street.
Second, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
And now you have the signs on the window. There seems to be quite a few.
Yeah.
There's three, one on each window.
One on each window?
Yes.
Okay, because I have one on the top.
No, just
underneath where it
that
says
is,
coming soon.
no, that's their paper for renovation. I think it's
Okay.
down already.
Okay, it's down already. So it's going to be one central
On
on
each
each one of the
window,
windows?
yes,
Is
20.
there a reason why the repetitive,
It's a long storefront. And they're only 22 and a half inches long, they're not huge.
so it's going to be the name of the company, Luxury Candy Boutique, is that what that says?
No,
Sorry.
it's just going to say Sugarfina.
That's it?
Yep.
So the Luxury Candy Boutique is not going to be a part?
No, just down the bottom there. There's 3 down along the bottom that say Sugarfina that are 22 and a half inches long.
All right, I have no issue with that. They're small, they're here.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, so it's not the top.
It's
floor.
not
No,
that out of
no,
stuff.
no.
You got that out of
Okay, yeah,
there?
that's why.
Okay.
Any public comment on the storefront signs? I'm sorry, the window signs? Motion to approve?
Motion to approve the,
Hold on 1 second. All right, it's down here. Just checking to make sure the code enforcement signed off on it.
motion to approve the window signs at Sugarfina, 68 Main Street.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And a final sign application this evening.
Hair Studio, 71 Hill Street, storefront.
Oh, storefront.
Oh, hair studio.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. What do you know?
Don't think I could go, but
Maybe I can.
is that the correct representation?
Yes, it
of
is.
both the font, shadowing background?
Shadowing background color.
It's going to have the 71 with the scissors there. Which actually, I think that's kind of cute.
That's part of their name, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, the buy, is that also part of the overall sign?
That is part of the overall sign. It's the, I guess the guy who's the hairdresser there is very well known.
Okay.
Yes.
I could do without the name, but if that's part of their, is that part of their branding in any way?
Yes, totally. Everything they have has that on it.
I don't
Is there going to be any goose down, because I see now that there doesn't exist, any lighting, any projective lighting?
No.
Nothing goose, no goose?
No, there's no room.
The sign itself is just a board with...
Whiteboard with vinyl lettering.
I guess I don't have, if that's part of their branding, I don't think I have any issue. Jeff?
I'm
comments?
okay with it.
I'm fine with it.
Any public comment on the application? Motion to approve?
Motion to approve the application for storefront sign, Hair Studio, 71 Hill Street.
Thank you very much.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Concludes the sign permits for this evening. Just as point of reference, that application for 116 North Sea Road, request to adjourn until the 10th. And we'll make that motion. 24 Gin Lane and 28 Gin Lane requested an adjournment as well. They didn't put a specific date, but I know they're working on revised plans. I know at the last meeting, we discussed and talked about possibly having a special meeting. However, applicants come back and said that they're revising plans, and so we're waiting to hear back from the applicant to see the type of detailing involved in the new plans, to see if that meeting's still warranted. So that has not been determined if that meeting will happen. Just
I did speak with applicant's counsel on this, and the discussion was to adjourn it sine die without a date. Since there is no date in the letter, I would suggest you adjourn it until the 24th meeting.
24. Okay. All right, so we'll first start with motion to approve applicant's request to adjourn 116 North Sea Road until July 10th, 2017. I'll do the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next would be the motion to approve the applicant's request to adjourn 24 Gin Lane until our meeting of the 24th.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And motion to approve applicant's request to adjourn 28 Gin Lane until the meeting of the 24th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next application,
David Dove, 284 Hill Street, construct driveway, gates, and posts.
is the applicant present?
It's the...
Okay,
no,
the applicant Well, I have a letter in file saying the applicant has requested to adjourn driveway gates at 284 Hill Street until the next meeting.
That might have been from the previous
Is
one.
that dated?
This is not dated.
Yeah, that might have been, there
If
was a
there's no
request.
affidavit of posting or
Oh,
mailing, you
there we
don't have
go.
the jurisdiction, therefore you need not vote on that.
Well, there's an affidavit of posting in here, an affidavit of mailing.
There
So we have
was,
jurisdiction. The question is, when did they want it adjourned?
yeah, there was a, from the last meeting, there was a request, there was a letter to adjourn at the May 22nd meeting.
Okay.
But again, no date.
Well, there's no date. There's a set of plans in here. It gives specific information on the spacing, which seems to comply with what we're looking for in terms of our spacing. Also, it's detailed about the pillars. If the board feels it can move forward and look at the application in light of not seeing any further detail on adjournments, we can look at the application. If you want further information from the applicant to see what his or her intentions are, we can do so as well. What does the board feel?
Yeah, I was okay with it based on what was
Is
in
it
the
okay
file.
with Okay.
So it's half-inch spacing, half-inch, okay, I have no objection.
50% transparency is
How
what we
tall
asked
is
the
this?
applicant.
Five,
Okay, let's just.
I think.
put it
You're
at
okay with the
that.
application?
Yes.
This point, Charlie, can you get that on record? Can you see the?
Do you want us to put it down?
Want to put it down here?
Just that.
Okay, Charlie? You okay? All right, since this is a certificate of appropriateness for an application in the historic district, any decision on this application must be in writing, and therefore, at this time, we will close the application for written decision by council. Is there any public comment before we do so? So therefore, the motion is to close the application of 284 Hill Street for written decision by council.
I second the motion.
I'm sorry, okay, it's been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next application, please. This is closed for written decision by council.
File contains a decision approving the application as submitted. There's also in the next file, 112 Elm Street, similarly, a decision approving the application as submitted.
Okay. Motion to approve written decision by council for 20 Wyandanch Lane.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
But I have to get the,
Should be right up front.
here it is.
Thank you. Subsequently, we also have motion to approve written decision by council for 112 Elm Street.
Motion, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next application, please.
Is Jack, 160 Ox Pasture Holdings, 160 Ox Pasture Road. I don't think it was, isn't it Lane?
Good evening, board members. CMX Sami, architect, representing Jürgen Friedrich for 160 Ox Pasture Road. I have here the affidavit of mailing and
Just gonna ask you.
posting. I also have some renderings so that you have a better idea. We can pass these. That's better for you.
Here's the affidavit.
Existing pool on the rear yard of the building. The structure is not exposed to the street. We're proposing a steel and glass pool house, basically completely transparent on all sides, glass on all sides. There's a knee wall on one side where the bathroom and kitchenette is. The roof of the structure is standing seam copper. The finish on the steel is basically antique bronze, and continuation of the stone terrace on the pool extending into the pool house. There is a trellis all around, which basically the idea is that wisteria and vines would be growing over it, and you would not even see the roof anymore, but just the glass underneath it as a greenhouse, basically, pool house in that sense. Let's see anything else I can add. There is an existing square pavilion canvas roof that's going to be just shifted westwards behind it. Any questions I can answer?
The design itself, to what relation does the overall design, I guess, either
The idea was
mimic or...
the building itself, designed by Atterbury, Professor Atterbury. I was actually in front of the board last year for an addition for that. It's a stucco building with clay tiles. This was not meant to mimic or even bring the language of the main house onto the pool house. The idea was not to have a masonry structure, but something as transparent as possible in the garden, because basically there are about 6 or 7 really huge linden trees there, and the idea was that not to put a structure to obscure the view of these lindens. So this is basically primarily an attempt of putting a greenhouse there in that sense, with glass on all 4 sides. It's just a minimal 3.5 feet knee wall where the bathroom and shower are, and that is using a brick that is mimicking the brick at the base of the existing house.
Is that the same brick on the outside as well?
Correct, the fireplace and the brick on the outside, and I have samples of that, which is basically the same sample that was used for the extension of the main house. So as far as commonality with the architecture of the main house, as far as material, it's the masonry that's matching. But the rest of it is a steel structure. As far as the mountains, mullions, and so forth, minimal widths. The finish is antique bronze. Again, maximum transparency was the idea of this.
CMAC, I don't think it's going to be seen anywhere. Not that that warrants our decision, but I don't think it's out of keeping. I think it's something that would have very minimum impact to anyone in the surrounding community. I have no issues with the application as proposed. Jeff, any comments?
On the positive side, I think it's an excellent example of juxtaposing a very contemporary structure with a traditional structure, and it creates an openness to the back of the property. So I like what I see.
Susan?
I think it's quite handsome. I like it. And they have other structures.
They do have other structures. They
that are
have
eclectic.
exactly. This one was more muted and
Yeah.
quiet in that sense.
It's an amazing property, though.
Zach is our historic consultant. Any comments?
Yeah, I think this is the right approach because it doesn't misread as something historic.
Right.
Right.
You know, so it's clearly something else. It's quite practical, straightforward, and it is what it is. It's a piece of modern architecture. Scale of it's appropriate, so I think it's the right direction.
Any public comment on this application? Very good job, CMAC. As you're aware, it's located in a historic district and requires written decision, so be happy to say that we'll close the application for this evening, and we'll ask our council to prepare that written decision at our next meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Therefore, I motion that we close the application for written decision by council.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next application, I have a handwritten that the applicant requested to adjourn. Is there a date?
Yes, next meeting.
Next meeting, okay. So a motion to approve applicant's request to adjourn the application for 80 Post Crossing until our next meeting.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I just a question? When Susan and I were looking at that, in as much as it's on post-crossing, we were wondering if Zach could or should take a look at it before we hear it, so we may very well request that at the next meeting.
Well, let's take a look.
Okay.
Now I'm going to have the motion to reopen if you're going to discuss this.
Motion to reopen the
All right.
Motion to reopen.
Rhine and Moldberry, 80 Post Crossing, reconstruction and expansion of front porch.
Since I opened my mouth, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
It's,
Have you done any type of report on this, Zach? I'm sorry?
It's hard to tell what's the deal, but it is on Post Crossing. Could you take a look?
Well, it's in the historic district, and
Yeah,
therefore,
no, it's really.
you've not done a single report or review or
I'm not
anything?
Unless you want to hear it first. I mean, that's...
familiar with
Here.
This is their, look at this.
You want to expand that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it wasn't clear on the drawing. It almost looks like it's on the
I got
side.
Okay, so you don't want to look at it? Oh, yeah.
I don't need to look at it.
Okay,
Now, I
okay.
Got
think
it.
that this is,
it's a historic
needs
structure.
to be
Okay,
sort of
Discussed.
discussed.
okay.
Let me see what's going on.
So, I mean,
But
if
they
this
haven't-
is reopened, do you want me to go out and kind of look at
I
that
think
ahead
at
of
this
the
point,
discussion?
you doing any type of review on the application and not knowing the full scope of work that's being done, how, why, I think it would just be, unless you just want to do a abbreviated historical on the property and give just an outline of its history, that's going to always be a part of your initial plan anyway, when you go and do a review. So you can get a head start on that, but I doubt that you're going to have to be able to do any type of comprehensive review on that.
Okay, all right.
All right?
I'll be more familiar with it when it comes up.
Okay, great.
The application is open, so if there's anyone here to discuss it, no public comment? All right, so now, motion to close.
Motion to close,
I'm sorry, motion to
adjourn the...
approve the applicant's request.
Approve the applicant's request to adjourn
Our applicant here.
Rhine and Moldberry, 80 Post Crossing,
Until our next meeting.
until our next meeting on June 26th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And presuming the affidavits are in the file?
Yes, they are. Next application, please.
Next application is Ioannis Zumas, 10 Captain's Neck Lane, construct two-story single-family dwelling with attached garage, demo existing.
Good evening, members of the board, Mr. Chairman. Brian DeSessor of the Adam Miller Group, attorney for the applicant. Brian Lacazio with me here as well. The property is located at 10 Captain's Neck. There's a single-story house there that, according to my research with the village, it is not historic contributing or landmark. The application here.
It's in the historic district, it may not be contributing that to...
Correct. Yes, I'm sorry yes, it's not a contributing house in the historic district, but we need a certificate of appropriateness since the structure does reside in the historic district for demo and for the proposed new structure.
Do you know the age of the house?
I don't. I wasn't able to ascertain that.
Just a point of reference.
I would say the 60s, 70s maybe, in terms of just based on materials on the outside and finishes on the inside and walking through. That would be my best guess. I do have, just for the board, I can just hand these up. This was,
Let's go over here.
oops, sorry. These are existing street shots, just to show what's there. So that's where I'm basing it on the type of roofing, siding, brick and wood combination. That's the best guess that I'm being told on that.
All right, so the first step is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to demo the house.
Correct.
I don't think there's a problem.
I would hope not.
So we'll get past that. Second part of that, the process itself is the house that you're constructing. Now, I'm hoping that you brought smaller plans.
Everything, I have all full size. I can submit smaller plans, but everything I had was full
It's
size.
just easier for us all to look at plans. If
I will,
And it's
that in mind.
actually
I
supposed to be a
apologize
part of a new checklist that's at the building department, which we obviously have not implemented as of yet.
We have it on the wall right there.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
It was not on the wall upstairs, I apologize
Okay.
for that, and I will make sure there's
We'll
smaller
make sure, I
sets
will
next
make
time.
sure it's on the wall tomorrow. I saw the plans earlier. They were modest design, but if you'd like to go over the details of it so we can have a piece of record of the...
Sure, I do have the proposed finishes for the board. So we'll start at the top. The chimney cap is a lead-coated copper chimney cap. There's white stucco chimney. I have fascia and exterior trim. It's white cedar shake shingles, black windows. The cedar shake roof is of natural color, not to be painted. On all sides of the house, it will be painted. That's part of the record, if I could submit that in again. There is a small entry porch facing Captain's Neck. There's a water table trim height, and there are square column posts on that side, all in white, as depicted in the photos as part of the record. The water trim is carried around the house, as well as the trim detailing and the fascia detail is in around. The next photo is of exterior trim and the, I'll call them hidden gutters, runoffs. They're built-in gutters, so you don't see them. They're not copper gutters. It's built in as part of the trim. And in the rear of the house, the yard opposite of Captain's Neck, there is white half-round aluminum gutters and lead leaders. Yeah, that's the one right there. Yep.
I'm okay with everything but your stucco chimney.
Okay. What would the board prefer to see? We're happy to
Just
stone or...
Something real.
something real.
Okay.
Something structural,
Not wrapped.
coated.
Yes.
Okay, so
You know. And what's the foundation? Is the foundation of brick
it's,
typically?
yeah, it was, the chimney stucco was the same that you'd see, but the
Oh, the foundation is also...
was brought down. But we can change that to stone, to whatever the board is inclined. We're
Brick, stone.
Brick?
Brick is fine.
Yeah, brick is fine.
colored brick, white brick, red brick.
There's masonry brick, there's,
Okay.
we would like to see a sample of it. If you're,
No, that's why
if you're
I'll- yeah.
proposing it,
Yeah.
we would like to see.
I'll get a sample of it, masonry brick in a whitewash or white color.
Other than that, those are the two things I had an issue with. Other than that, I have no issue with it. The house is not trying to be historic, nor is it necessary. So it's fine, it's in keeping. I don't think it's that it's offensive in any manner to the nature of that community or that area or even a historic district. So I have no issue with the design overall, other than those details. Jeff, any comments?
Yeah, I'm concerned with the garage facing Hill Street.
Okay.
Me too.
Typically on Hill Street, and for that matter on Captain's Neck, there are very few, if any, garages that face the street. And that's one of the, that's our entranceway to the village. And on Hill Street, I don't think any of the houses that do have garages facing, they're old, and usually the separate garages in the rear. So I would request that that the design be altered in such a way that the entrance to the garage come from the driveway, such that there's not a garage facing Hill Street, and if at all possible, not facing Captain's
Yeah,
Neck.
because we have two front yards, so that was what the
Yeah, so because
difficulty
you're on a
was.
corner lot, but you do have spacing sufficient for a driveway, I believe, on the side, on one of the sides, such that you could have the driveway go along the side so you can make the turn facing in.
And then come around back and kind of drive in like you'd heading back toward
Well,
Captain's Neck?
So the garage conceivably could be on the east side. So you would drive from Hill Street, driveway goes along, if this is Hill Street, yeah, if you drove along here into the garage that way. Or I see, but their entrance is on
Their
Captain's
interest,
Neck.
when you said Hill Street, the driveway is facing Captain's Neck.
Correct, the same driveway that exists.
Same driveway, so it's not facing Hill Street.
Oh, it isn't?
That's the garage. This is where the garage is. So I don't know where you,
Okay, I thought it was facing, the garage was facing Hill Street.
the garage is the same Same design, same format as the existing.
Can we see the larger? Are you sure?
Presently screened by vegetation.
Is the garage,
Is the garage on Hill Street or on?
It is on, so the doors would face Hill, which are screened.
yes,
Yeah,
that's,
that's what I
I can't, I do not approve of that.
So-
You've got, this is the original plan. That,
Yeah.
we don't have small of the site plan for the,
So then that begins.
So that there are two-
You want the entrance to come, if I may, so you want the doors to enter here?
I personally do not think that you should have the garage facing Hill Street as the, because that's an important street in the village, and you're in a historic area.
Understood.
So why would you be showing just the,
Well, there's screening there, so you wouldn't see that from Hill
well,
Street.
that doesn't really, I still don't approve of that. You have I think you have a choice.
Zach, have you seen this?
I haven't.
Have Zach take a look
I mean,
at
it's
this.
a new
It's a new construction.
construction.
So this is Captain's Neck, this is where
This is at the corner, right?
This is the corner of Captain's and Hill.
Yeah.
And then, sort of related to that, or because of that, even though the house that you're replacing is not historic in any way, shape, or form, and this is benign in terms of adding to the neighborhood, I mean, it's positive. I've seen piecemeal aspects of the house. I personally would prefer to see a streetscape, to see how, a full rendering of the house, to see how it looks from Hill Street and from Captain's Neck.
Nothing's being presented in terms of scale or style that would make me be concerned of a streetscape on this particular one. And normally, typically, we ask that if there's going to be such an egregious difference in style or design or even mass that we have some concerns of how it would relate. If that's what you want and you're asking for it and the overall board agrees with it, but this doesn't fit
Well,
within that type of.
So long as they continue to ask, the applicant continues to ask for a garage either on Captain's Neck or Hill Street, yes, I would.
Okay, so if you're asking for the streetscape to show what the garage is going to
Look like from Hill Street.
From Hill Street.
So a streetscape from Hill Street where the
And
proposed garage
Captain's-
is.
Right. The alternative is to do what other folks have and to have the garage not facing either street. It's a little bit more complicated because you're on a corner lot, but it can be done.
Okay. So, but from Captain's Neck, you can't see it, so you're more concerned with the Hill
No,
Street side.
Captain's Neck, if you go drive down Captain's Neck, there are very few, if any.
No, I'm saying for this specific one, for the streetscape, you wouldn't see the garage from Captain's Neck. So you want the
Well,
streetscape
if
from
you
Hill
if you have
Street.
it on Hill Street, what I'm saying.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get clarity on
I
that.
would prefer that there not be a garage visible from either of those streets,
Okay.
so that you would turn in from your driveway.
If I could clarify, I think the issue, Jeff, is the doors facing, not the garage.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, so if I move the doors, that's what I'm
I think they
talking about.
want the doors facing east if it's on Hill Street.
These are your doors here.
If it's
Yeah.
on.
Hill Street, you want the doors
Right,
from
well,
the east.
I would prefer actually the doors facing, if you come in from Captain's Neck on the
We're not
driveway.
talking about that, we're talking about coming in from Hill Street.
Coming in from Hill Street, definitely.
You don't
no-
enter from Hill Street. The driveway, one driveway from Captain's.
Right, so,
Doors would face south.
The doors face.
The doors are facing south.
exactly, the doors would face south.
They're facing north now.
They face north now.
Because they came in off of Captain Raff all the way around to here, and this faces north.
Thank you, Bo. Yes. My preference would be that the doors face south.
You're basically circling the house to go into the garage.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
They flipped the whole thing.
We've done that on Moses Lane.
It wouldn't face that way.
Just a question.
Sure.
Why start on the most southern part of the parcel to come around the house to the other side? Is there a reason for that?
That was where the existing curb cut is and driveway.
Okay.
So instead of relocating that, because it's kind of closer to the corner, we don't want to have the drive, where the distance is now, it allows a sight line from cars coming in and out of Hill, and when you turn on from Captain's Neck. But if the board was inclined, we could explore those options if that's what, but we're still stuck with the same garage door facing, even if we move.
No.
Well, if you remove, first of all, because the second question I was going to ask is the outside stairs. Is there a reason or purpose for that? The stairs?
It's an external entrance to the basement.
Let's go to the
Yeah,
basement.
for the lower level, yes.
The low level. You can reposition that someplace else, have the doors going around, and have your curve cut change your curve cut to the northern portion of the parcel, so you're not driving across your whole entire front lawn. I'm just trying to make it a lot easier. 'Cause It
I'm
just
just
seems
thinking in
like it's a
terms of
very
the-
antiquated way to get around to the house.
If you could take this layout and literally flip it.
That's what I was
flat-
The programming inside the house doesn't lead to that because the pool, where the pool is located. So if we rotated it, everything would then lead to the Hill Street side. I understand just flipping it, but then flipping it programming-wise, everything inside the house now
Doesn't relate.
no longer relates. That's the,
That's a challenge, but
right.
that's less of an issue for us.
What if we move the doors to face east from where those downstairs are? So that you wouldn't see them from Hill or
That's what
Captain?
I'm saying.
That would be
Right.
better.
Could I?
But again, you're literally going around the whole entire yard.
I can talk to the applicant, but in terms of programming and the way the house is laid out, I think that's a,
No, I'm talking about your driveway.
I appreciate it, but I think they'd be more willing, I think, to make that accommodation, to change the doors from site, yeah.
I guess if we're an architectural review board,
Right.
and if we're concerned about the visual presence of the house to the street, then it's the challenge to the applicant to make the design and the flow work.
I see what you're doing. You want the parking,
It's, yeah.
which also
It's a problem.
puts things a lot in question, is you are basically adding a considerable amount of parking
Yeah.
on this lot with this
No,
runway.
what
I would remove.
we would remove some of that parking if we're going to continue the driveway around, because I don't want to have the whole house of driveway.
Well, you have a whole yard of driveway.
Yeah, the
You're
front.
going to have a whole yard of driveway.
Now you're really pushing for a streetscape.
You're kind of talking me out of it now, so I'm just trying to help out.
Yeah, no,
You did add your additional curve cut to the northern portion of the parcel, taking away all of that runway of driveway.
Okay.
Move your garage doors to the east. I think you have a home run.
Okay. So off
You're
a
saying
hill,
that
and
the
then
whole
come
house is
inside.
based on the interior design.
Yeah, no, that's
Which is not our purview, by the way.
No, I
Yeah,
just
Okay.
understand that.
it would make life a lot easier.
Okay. And that if we,
I don't know if you have a term for it. That's your
No, I can
architect's
make that work.
responsibility to figure that
I
out.
see, so entrance on Hill, the doors facing...
No interest on Hill. Interest
I
still
thought
on?
that was-
No, you can
No,
move the
it's-
curve cut to the...
to the north on Captain? Yes. Just go straight in and around?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, and with the garage doors facing east?
East, so you wouldn't see them.
Gotcha. Okay,
That would be helpful.
Might still want this little arc here. in front of that.
And then just get rid of
One
this,
goes that way,
get rid of
and one
that.
Just saying, cut that runway off.
Okay. We can do that.
I'd also suggest a landscaping plan, because now we're looking at a lot of driveway
Yeah.
running along Hill Street.
We had one almost completed, and we spoke to Mr. Ruth, the neighbor, the immediate neighbor to the east, who had some input as to what he'd like to see as screening between our property lines, which we're incorporating into the plan.
So it will be at the next meeting, is that what you're saying?
Yes, because we talked to him last week, and we're adding that to the plan that makes him happy.
Okay. Any public comment on the application? All right, so you have a lot to come back prepared.
Yes.
I'm sure to speak to your client.
Yes.
Who is the applicant, to see what modifications could be made. We'll be back with some of the new designs as well as detail that we discussed this evening.
Very good.
You need time to prepare yourself for that?
I would ask for the next meeting. We can have that done quickly.
All right, so you're asking a request to adjourn the meeting so you can prepare yourself.
Yes, please.
Motion to approve applicant's request to adjourn until our next meeting.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you.
That concludes our historic no, it's good points, by the way. That concludes our historic applications for this evening. First application, non-historic.
100 Halsey Lane LLC, Pheasant Lane, construct two-story, single-family dwelling, attached garage, and pool cabana.
Good evening, Michael Berenger, architect for the applicant. Have a couple small sets to hand out. At the last meeting, I was asked to bring in additional information on the landscaping plan that I'll hand out first. That was approved by the planning board. It is a 3-page plan. Hand those on tonight, thank you. And I have a copy also of their approval dated May the 1st, 2017, just one copy for the file. I also have revised architectural plans and some, this is set for, the changes to the architectural plans are fairly minor, but I'll go over those in a minute with you.
So did she stamp these? Oh, yes, she did.
Architectural plans. I have some 3D renderings I'd like to show you also, but I think I'll just wait till the paper stops moving. This is it's an application for a new residence on a vacant parcel on a 2-acre flag lot that is off of a private road in Pheasant Lane, which is in the Murray compound. We have a tennis court, a attached garage, a swimming pool, and a pool house on the property. I will go ahead and show you the rendering that we had done of the front of the house. I don't know whether it's going to show totally on there, but I can show you. There was a question about the siding, and I have some other homes that I have designed for this client that we have used board and batten siding, shingle siding, and beveled siding on the same house. The exterior color scheme is all white, and the reality of the textures is only really visible when you're very close to the house. And I'll be happy to show you some other pictures, but, and this is the back of the house. This is the other rendering that we had done that shows you the rear elevation of the house as a computer-generated drawing. The style is a little bit of a transitional style. We're using a lot of traditional roof lines and elements, bay window, gable roof lines, but there is some elements of a transitional design within the front entry, and the garage has some opaque windows on the side. As far as the landscaping plan, there's a great deal of, the privet hedge is already installed on the property. It's a 7 to 10 foot high perimeter hedge. Around the house there are ilex and grasses and different plantings that are shown on page B of that landscaping plan. There's quite a bit of landscaping material around the perimeter of the house.
And is that all parking in the front there? Like gravel?
That gravel area is parking in the front, yes. And that would show probably. There's a challenge here with the flag lot in terms of trying to gain a proper sense of entry to the house, and there is some open space in the front that is gravel. This is still at about 28% of pervious surfaces on the property, but there is a substantial parking area in the front, yes.
Go ahead. The last time you were here, we had some issues about so many different window styles. I have that in my notes.
Mm-hmm. And there are really two types of window styles. There is the foyer.
He's making the argument that now that he has a color rendering, it should give a little bit more
Okay. Well,
description and detail of what that looks like in design, in reality. Do you think it's a valid argument? That's the question.
I still think it's what I call busy.
Okay.
It has a lot, I don't think it has a cohesive feeling of a house, actually. It has modules.
I think that's part of what the transitional style is, that it does intermix some elements.
I understand that, but
Okay.
Jeff, you have any comments?
It may be one more personal preference or suggestion, but, Michael,
Yes.
they have a ton of parking area and with very little green space. And if one were to just draw a line there, I think you'd have more green space and create more openness for your client. I don't think it's going to hinder or necessarily our vote one way or the other, but just from an aesthetic standpoint,
There is 25 feet, I think, from the parking area to the front of the house.
Well, 25 feet would be a lot on a small lot, but this is 2 acres in a very large house, so 25
Yep.
feet is, I wouldn't say de minimis,
I
but
can
it's
show you-
pretty darn small.
Possibly,
25 feet is...
I don't think the
the-
applicant wants the green space.
this is the house,
So
that-
you're making the
right.
argument for what the applicant
this
is.
is the house that we just finished for that client, and
That's
you know,
wonderful, and again,
that
maybe
shows
it's a matter of taste.
Is that on-
I like to see green.
Cobb Road. Cobb Road.
Cobb Road?
Yes. The, you know, I'll go through them. This was a previous house that we did for this client as well. That the concept on these has been a park court in the front. This is,
If this was not a flag lot, I would
Yeah.
object to the point
Okay.
of voting otherwise. But it's a flag lot, so
It's
if
a
you
flag
find...
lot in a community that has absolutely no one individual style. It has so many different interpretations of architecture. It's actually the thing that makes that neighborhood kind of unique in itself, that it has modern, has postmodern, has a little bit of everything, just
the house,
sprinkled all over the place.
I
Second of all,
understand the comments. It's been very carefully designed, to be honest with you.
It hasn't been done without care.
No,
I'd
very
just say
carefully
it's enough.
designed.
the house is set
I like
back
to see
how
green.
far on the flag?
It's a 240-foot flag strip.
So-
And it's village-owned property to the west. The cellar is to the east.
How much village-owned properties in the west?
There's a whole large wetland estuary.
Wetland.
Yeah. Be a new park. But,
My brain's always working. But look, I don't think the applicant has the ability to make his own interpretation in a community that quite
Thank
frankly
you.
has, you know, a ton of different interpretations of architecture. I don't have any issue with it. I know based on the design, they're looking for not as much green space, and some of us would agree to it, some of us would not. However, in this situation, as you stated, not seen from any purview of right of way, no one's going to, even though the house exists back there, other than the applicant, has significant amount of screening around where it's not, you know, intrusion on neighbors, and it's a substantial lot. I have no issue with the application as submitted. However, do we have 3 votes?
No.
Okay, so we tonight don't have 3 votes. I have no issue, no objection of the application. Doesn't seem that Jeff does. But this evening, we're down 2 board members.
I know Mr. Brady wasn't at the last meeting. Do you know if he's coming to the next meeting, or?
He intended to come. It was an
Intended to come.
emergency.
There was a family emergency.
I understand, I understand.
So at this time, we do not have the votes to move forward. It
Okay.
seems like at the next meeting with the other members, we probably will. I can't guarantee that. I'm just saying as of right now, today, we don't have the votes. We're going to see if there's any public comment. Other than that, there's nothing for us to do but to adjourn the application until our next meeting.
Okay.
Is there any public comment? Susan, you just couldn't see it in your heart to move forward?
I can't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So at this time, we just don't have the numbers to vote, so we'll adjourn until the next meeting and then see what the numbers.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for your efforts. Thanks a lot for your time. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn the application of 100 Halsey Lane, 51 Pheasant Lane, until our next meeting on June
I'm sorry.
26th.
Okay. It's been
Second.
moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next application, please.
See you then, thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Jenke and Joseph Beckwar, 209 Elm Street,
Yeah.
demolish existing structure.
Is the applicant present?
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming this application is before us because it's quasi in historic district, but also the age would render it to be something that we should look into. Have you taken a look at the?
Yeah, I think the application for demolition would trigger a special review.
Have you reviewed yet?
Yes.
Okay. Applicant's not here, so there's nothing to present.
Right.
So we'll adjourn until he returns.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn the application of Michael Jenke and Joseph Beckwar, 209 Elm Street, until our next meeting on June 26th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next application, please.
The next application is 119 McGee Street LLC, 119 McGee Street.
Jeremy Lindsay, architect for the client.
You can bring the microphone up.
Jeremy Lindsay, architect for the client. And I have 3 copies. I also have 2 more for
Are those small plans?
Yes, these are small packages, and I'd like to walk us through them page by page, if I may. We'll do it quickly. Here you go.
Just as for reference, let's concentrate our efforts on the exterior
Absolutely.
portions that are within our jurisdiction.
Absolutely. Pages 1 and 2, you will find the survey and the site plan in a sort of more digestible format, so you can see, we had the big plans with us last time I was here. So essentially, 2-story home with 2 masses, 1 double story, 1 single story with cathedral, as well as a pool and pool house. You will then see on page 4 the rendering of the front of the house.
Could you turn it?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
maybe you want to turn to page 4 when you're talking.
He's on.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm there. Page 4 shows the front of the house, and we're going to go into the materials. Those are prepared on boards following. But in summary, a shingle house with a metal roof and planes of glazing. The page 5 is the back of the house with where the pool can be found. So again, metal roof, large panes of glazing. Page 6 reviews the Drexel Metal Company, which will provide the material for the roof. Page 7 provides the color choice of that material. It's a slate gray. Page 8 provides the sort of glazing profiles or the glazing type, Colby Vistalux. We will be using some depth in those windows, so you will see the accent model of those 2 you'll see in the lower right corner, mirrored here. As well as just for quick perusal, some of the details for those windows, should you have more questions about how they operate and their profile. And on page 11, you're looking at the color choice for the metal or for the aluminum clad for that window. Moving through, you'll see page 12, which describes the simple cedar shake we would like to use. We are looking at as noted, a white cedar shingle with a weathering stain. So these will look more like a weathered gray from the get-go. Also will protect them, with the stain. Then we get to street views. At first, page 13 shows just the site in its context. There is a large swath of vacant land. There is a train track to the north. There is also a large multifamily development of townhouses across the street. As you go through the application, you'll see on page 14, street views marked A, B, and C, also located on that site plan, showing you the massing of this house within the street context from both sides, as well as a view from C, just to show you some of the neighboring houses that are visible from the street.
So B is which, both houses? Or
Yes, exactly. So B is a new house that is being built.
Oh, okay.
And so we've massed it in there for you,
Gotcha, okay.
just so you can see what's coming. That's approved and under construction.
Right.
This will then be a neighbor to that house.
Your house is to the right. Okay.
Exactly, exactly. Page 15, I just wanted to provide a little more context for the board. There is, D, view D is the interestingly similar colored development across the street. So we're trying to be a nice neighbor. E was just a scaling of the existing privet hedge. You can see it's a very large, again, we're not arguing that resolves any issues, but we just want it to be part of the story at this moment. And then F, just a simple street view looking up the street from sort of the more, coming from town,
Sure.
as you come, from town. 16 and 17 were basically just zoomed in on that piece of that house. 16 is again looking from the north towards it, and 17 is looking from the south over to it.
This is what's proposed.
Yeah.
Correct,
Yeah.
Airbrush in behind you.
correct, correct.
We would hope that the hedges are
Correct.
more manicured than they.
Correct, yeah, they need some
Wild
love.
West over there.
That's harder to Photoshop, so we did our best.
All right.
But yes, there will be full, the property will be fully manicured. And
You're also proposing driveway gates?
no, not at this time.
Okay. You say not at this time, but.
Well, no, to my knowledge, and therefore, no.
Good idea.
Well, seems worse.
So plans follow. I can review any of them. I think in terms of the exterior, this initial package we've just reviewed is the clearest, I think, for the board's approval.
I really appreciate your thoroughness and
Yeah.
showing and demonstrating how to lay out an actual
Yeah.
plan, to show it, demonstrate a streetscape, to impose mass into the property so we can get the depth of scale, and very good job. Very, very good job. So we really appreciate your attention to detail. I don't find the house, even though it's modern, that particular neighborhood is evolving. You have a multifamily community, as you stated, and then you have another subdivision, which is just north of you, that's growing in leaps and bounds. There's going to be a lot of growth in that area, and I think this particular home, as it's currently drafted, should fit in pretty well.
Excellent.
Jeff, comments?
The presentation anticipated any questions or concerns, and the fact that you did such a great job in terms of laying it out and taking us through it basically answered all the questions we might have had. So this is an excellent example of how to present a proposal.
Well, it's our pleasure. It's really important.
Susan, comments?
No, I thought you did a very nice job.
Any public comment on the application? I don't think there's going to be any other objections, so therefore, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the application of 119 McGee Street LLC.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so
Very rare
much.
to get it the first
Yeah.
night, so good job.
Keep this as an example. That's good.
Uh-oh, next. The green,
Okay.
the next one's adjourned.
Next application is a letter to withdraw the application from the agenda. I don't think there's any further discussion about that. If any applicant or any person here is to discuss that, that would be 1990 Meadow Lane. There's a letter in file by the attorney to withdraw the application. So the motion would be to approve applicant's request to withdraw the application from our agenda. I made the motion. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next application, please.
98 Powell Avenue, which I must locate. Sorry. Everywhere. 98 Powell Avenue LLC, 98 Powell Avenue. Construct accessory garage cabana.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Chairman. The structure,
Just your name for your record.
Mayron Talley, Down Conway Architects.
What you just sent us are just smaller renderings, smaller version of what's in file?
Of the same thing that's in the file, except we took out an angled wall in the rear. The original drawings might show an angled wall where it was right here. We squared that off.
Okay. Did you add drawings or?
The drawings that you have, no, we haven't submitted new drawings. Oh, yes, we did. I'm sorry, sir. Yes, we did submit new drawings to the village. You should
Okay.
have the new drawings.
When were those submitted? June 9th, today?
Last Friday, Thursday?
I have a set here to June 9th, which was Friday.
Yes, that's it.
No, that was
That is it, sir. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
The square footage remained the same. We just squared it off. It's very simple. The view from the street is what you see on the second page, the front elevation, and a simple, modest garage, and the client wanted to just add a cabana. They already have a pool, so I figured combine the two structure in one, and save them some money.
Are you replacing this barn that you have a photo of here?
That barn is falling apart. Yes,
Saying
sir.
you're demolishing it and you're replacing it here?
Yes,
In the location of the barn?
The building inspector inspected that, I believe, and it's in really, really bad structural condition.
Not saying there's nothing historic about it.
No.
Point of reference. All right, so it's going in this location where the
Correct.
barn is currently.
Correct, sir.
It's going to replace that. The material that's being used matches and mirrors what's currently.
Matches cedar shingles, white trim, white doors, white windows.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Any questions, Jeff?
No, as long as the material's consistent, I'm good with it.
Do we have to worry about the lights?
No, unless you're worried about them.
No, it
Lights
just
in my
says
garage.
lantern to be selected.
Have you selected a lantern for the garage?
No, sir, they're going to be something very modest. My
We would need to
my
see
guess would
we
be
need to
that
see-
they're not even going to put them in, but
Okay, well, if we approve it today, it would be
Right.
approved without, because we don't have detail on the lanterns.
let's
So if
approve
you'll
it
be
with that.
adding the lanterns to there,
How specific do you want to see those,
Detail.
Mr. Chairman?
The picture of the lantern
let them know.
out of the book, you know.
Style on the lanterns, we got the detail of the
Let's
actual.
approve
if
it.
it's-
We'll take it off. If you can take it off. If we have to come back, we'll come back with the lanterns. I
So
don't think
the
they're going to have
approval will
any...
be without, correct?
Yes, sir. I don't think they're going to have any objections to that.
All right, so part of the approval process will have that, so it'll be a part of the record. That means if you put it up there, you won't, probably
We're
will not
not
let you see
going
it.
to. We can cross it off right now. If they want to come back for it,
You can.
they'll come back later, yes.
Any public comment on the application? Motion to approve with the omission of the lights on the garage.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next is, Peter Iwinicky. Sorry, 7 Carriage Lane, construct two-story
Second spell.
single-family dwelling with attached garage.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm Ruby Petroselli of Campo Construction, representing Mr. and Mrs. Iwanicki of 7 Carriage Lane. I have my affidavits of posting and mailing and 2 renderings, 11 by 17. We propose to construct a 2,500 square foot colonial 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, attached 2-car garage. The roof is architectural asphalt shingles,
You have a sample of
siding.
it?
I'm sorry?
Got a sample of the,
I do not have a sample of the roof. I have a sample of the cedar shake siding.
what are the colors of the roof? Is it gray? Is it-
It would be a
Thank you. Black roof.
black roof and a pale gray cedar siding. Leaders and gutters, fascia in white aluminum, soffits in white vinyl, windows white vinyl.
What is the roof height?
The roof height, I can take,
Please tell me that that's not cedar shingles on the chimney?
no, that should not be cedar shingles on the chimney.
It's just the detail on the,
I do not know why the roof height's not on here. I have a full-size set of plans I can check for you.
pull them out. And what is the material on the roof, on the chimney?
Yeah, I have white stucco.
Okay, here we go. No?
Okay.
What is it that you would prefer on the,
We have a couple of,
chimney.
I'm sure, challenges that we have to just get past right now. One of which is that roof height and that tremendous hip in it, and the variations of roofs that are just sporadic. And And then the material of the roof itself.
It's the same as the, this is just the drawing, it's yellow. What is the material?
I'm sorry? The roof material is architectural asphalt
I
shingle.
get that. Siding is cedar shake. Chimney, you're probably going with a brick, correct?
Brick or stone, I guess.
Okay. Brick or stone?
Brickers?
So you'll make that decision at the next meeting when you have changes to this to make it a little more simple, correct?
Yes, yes.
All right.
We'll be back.
I'm having difficulties with the variations of roofs.
Okay.
And I just don't know why the break above the front left entryway, cutting off the, I don't understand it. And I think
All right.
that's where I'm getting, because it's giving me the sign of a 3-story building rather than just a 2-story colonial
Okay.
home.
It's very similar to others. We have,
You have photos of them?
I'm not with you, no, I do not, but
I agree with
you can present that. Okay. So you would prefer a more contiguous roof line,
I would-
particularly over the front entry?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I don't know even the depth of that roof. Seems like you do have a 3rd story going there. Is there a reason why what is the pitch of the roof?
I'm sorry?
Pitch of the roof.
I do not have the answer to that question.
The architect here?
No, I'm afraid not. We had an emergency at the last minute.
Okay. I'm sure he's going to hear the meeting, the notes of the meeting, or look at it online, and but ask the other board members if they have other concerns or issues, but there's some work to be done. Jeff, comments?
So it's sort of in line with some of the same concerns there. And as a one-off, just looking at this diagram, one may say a 2-story works, actually it's almost 2.5 the way it looks here, in that by itself. But in that neighborhood, most of the houses are 1.5 stories. And they are either some type of expanded cape, or they're a main room with a half a loft and a master bedroom on the upper floor. And there's a consistency there. This is also part of a cluster housing community. And as such, there are there have been concessions made to the side lot such that they're only 7.5 feet on either side. So all the other houses work because it was designed that way. This house, the way I see it here, while it might be okay on this sheet of paper, I'm not sure that it's compatible with the other houses in terms of scaling and look. So I would like to see, even though this is not an historic area, but given the concerns of the roof line, given the concerns of the height and the scaling and the massing, I'd like to see a streetscape with at least the 2 houses on either side. So 5 houses all together, yours in the middle, and the 2 on the circle that either side.
Okay.
Yeah, they're set up, I mean, there's another cul-de-sac off of what would be Meadowgrass.
Yep.
And at that end,
Good neighborhood. Yeah,
there are
very
at least-
well.
there are at least 2 or 3, I believe, that are 2-story homes there, right, at least, or at least 2 are that way and a couple the other.
Just understand that you have village height requirements, you have village gross floor area, even square footage. You have rules and guidelines by which there's an envelope to build and construct. We're not talking about the envelope, we're talking about how it looks. The outside of the house looks a little big. There are ways you can distribute the same square footage to have the same feel and look different and have a different impact. Now, the fact of the matter is, all these lots are like a little triangle.
Exactly.
And so that means
Challenge.
you're literally looking at the house and it's spanning, the property, and it's spanning out, and all you see is house, very little property. So already you have a little deficiency in the streetscape just because you're in the middle of a cul-de-sac on a square property and you're looking at all nothing but impact. And it's basically what we're showing in terms of the variations of roofs. There's a way to design that in a manner that becomes a little more in keeping, still keeping your square footage, still keeping the mass that you're looking for overall, but just distributing it in a way that's more comfortable in the community. That's something architecturally, and that's the reason why I asked where your architect is. That's something that he or she would have to do as part of, I mean, we're talking about a new home. You're tearing down the old home, you're building a new home. So you have a plain envelope. You have all the imagination in the world to work with. We're just asking that you use it and utilize it.
All right, well, we're going to have to go back and have a review, and we'd like to come back at the next meeting.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Is there any public comment on this application? Anything further from the board?
No.
All right. So you're going to go back to both your applicant and your architect?
Yes.
You're going to come back with hopefully something that's a little more compatible? You're asking for an adjournment to prepare yourself,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Thank you very much.
Motion to approve applicant's request to adjourn until our next meeting.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. And our last application for this evening.
Is Santiago Trigo for driveway gates. Is that right? I've got this completely mixed up now.
Yes, hello. Michael Marin for East Hampton Fence and Gate.
Oh, thank you.
What I had difficulties viewing, I see. Okay, now I see that you're showing it side by side, but you're showing it front and the back. You have to sit it there so she can stamp it in. So this is the front rear view, and that's the. I was looking at it like mismatched shoes.
Right.
Okay.
Partially for construction purposes.
Thank you. What's the height?
The height is
5 foot, 8 inches.
Yes, 5 foot 8 inches, the material itself, and then it's 6 inches off the ground approximately.
The spacing between the slats.
It's noted up there in the top left, the space is 1.5 inches, and the slat is 1.75 inches.
Does that get you to the 50% transparency?
Is it 50% transparent?
No, for it to be 50% transparent, the spacing would have to be equal to the slats.
But I was making a point, I'm sorry. What we tried to do is, and I'm sorry, I'll be more clear. Not that there's a written rule, but we have been steadfast in maintaining and kind of consistent in our review and driveway gates in the village of Southampton. And some of the parameters we look at is the transparency be 50%. How we get to that figure, usually it's 3+ inch spacing, giving us the ability to look through. What we don't want are stockade fences or brick walls to make your property look non-inviting, look like a compound rather than looking like a residential community in the historic village of Southampton. So we ask for more transparency. Therefore, I'm going to, and this is me, I'll ask the other board members to see what they feel. Me personally, I would need to see more transparency before I could review or approve the application.
Well, the client actually was looking for something more solid. I knew you were looking for more transparency. The look with that type of design is such that the space tends to be much smaller than the plank. For instance, the house has some horizontal designs, and they used a 1x4, a 3.5 inch wide board with say a 1 inch space. But in an effort to try and get more transparency, I made the slats narrower. But the look is to kind of have the slat wider than the space. And I tried my best to make the space as wide as possible with an 1 3/4 inch slat and making the space just a tad bit smaller to have that sort of look that it creates.
Unfortunately, the look that you create is the very look that we don't want. And what this board's responsibility to do is that anything you're interpreting or bringing to the village of Southampton, we feel that it should be consistent with what this board's been doing, at least over the last 10 to 12 years I've been on it, to make sure that we are consistent in our review, but more importantly, that we do have a streetscape that is more inviting. And I know Flying Point Road is probably being traveled a lot more, especially this time of year, because it's a kind of a detour to get around some of the traffic, and I'm sure the applicant wants to try to shade and hide some of that. I understand fully. And we've taken those things under consideration in the past. However, in our consistency, one of the things I would look for is more transparency.
All right, well, this gate is not visible at all from Flying Point Road. It's 225 feet down a flag lot of 250-foot alley, and it's got quite a bit of planting between the 200 feet of Flying Point Road and the location of the gate.
You're saying this is at the end of a flag lot, the entryway? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the gate's located
200. Then I need to go back and take a look, because that's not what I saw. So I'm going to need to go back and do a review.
Okay. Yeah, we noted on the survey the gate location, and it's way up the driveway. It's the pole of the flag lot is 250, and this gate is a good 225 up that length.
Yeah, I'm saying that's the gate.
well,
If
that
that's the
changes
case and that's
things.
true, then that changes things. I would need to go back and take a look, because I obviously was looking at the wrong lot.
Okay.
But
Yeah, there's some pretty mature cedar trees on the north side of the driveway as you go up. Yeah, it's pretty far in.
I would tend to agree with you. I just personally, me personally, before I would vote,
Okay.
I need to go back to review. And if so, I don't think I'll have any further issues.
And I do appreciate the board's attempt to make these gates more see-through, and we have tried to accomplish that over the years. It's tricky with that sort of contemporary look that is becoming so popular now, that horizontal slotted look, and to create that look with a board with a narrow space is it's tricky to do and keep it to 50%. And by narrowing the slats, that gets it closer to your goal.
I don't think we need to sell it anymore. We get it.
I tried.
Okay, I think we're okay. We're okay. If I go back,
I don't know how else to do it.
I don't know if you feel any different. If I personally go back to the site and I take a look, and that's I see it on your survey, and I take it for a grain of salt. I would just need to go and take another look. And if so, I think I would be fine moving forward with the application.
Okay. So I guess
Susan,
we'll
any comments?
see you at the next meeting, or do we have to?
No.
All right. I'll ask for the adjournment, because I'm the one asking for the site visit.
Okay.
Therefore, should be no issue. Nothing. It's not in historic district. It's actually further. East. So I don't have any reservations with that, as long as I go back and I review and there's no issues. So at this point, my motion would be just to adjourn to our next meeting for me to have the opportunity to do a site visit.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Does he
Thank
need
you.
to come back?
Do we need to attend?
Yeah,
do I
you
need
should.
to attend the next
just
meeting?
to make sure.
Okay, very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Paul.
Hi, Michael. What's left are minutes. For some reason, I believe that these minutes were approved already.
Well, the April 24th, I wasn't here at the last meeting. I think that's why it got held up. So April 24th needs to be approved and can be approved.
Okay.
May 8th needs to be approved but can't be approved because there's not a quorum.
Okay.
And May 22nd can be approved as well.
Okay. All right, so board members, you had the opportunity to review April 24th, 2017's minutes. Questions, comments, or concerns about the minutes?
No.
Errors or
No.
corrections? Motion to approve the minutes from April 24th.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And May 22nd, any issues, concerns, errors, or omissions?
No.
Motion to approve the minutes from May 22nd, 2017.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That concludes this evening's meeting of the Architectural Board of Review and Historic Preservation. Thank you very much, and we need a motion now for
Motion to close the meeting of June 12, 2017 of the Board of Architectural Review and Historic Preservation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.